Welcome back to Primetime News. Special welcome to the folks watching on OneSpotMedia.com.
A reminder as well that you can download our One Spot Media app in the Google Play Store or the App Store. That's the number 1 followed by the word Spot and Media.
Despite opposition when it was first announced, the government is insisting changes to the funding arrangement for secondary schools are working.
The Education Minister, Senator Ruel Reid, made the assertion as he addressed a press briefing at the ministry's Heroes Circle offices this morning. TVJ's Vashon Brown was there.
There was a big debate last year when the government said it would be removing auxiliary fees for secondary schools. The government said it would instead increase funding for schools and ask parents to make voluntary contributions to schools. Some school administrators had argued that the government's plan would cause high schools to struggle. On Monday, Education Minister Senator Ruel Reid said he heard all the talk.
Many persons thought that we were going to bankrupt the system. The system would have been ruined and going to be in chaos. Schools were going to be running out of money, and the worst was going to happen.
He said the government has been able to successfully implement the policy shift. He pointed out that parents understood fully that they could make contributions to schools if they had the money to do so. He said parents across the system contributed $893 million, which is less than half, about 42% of the $2.1 billion he says schools used to get.
Remember, I did indicate that the schools would end up with a much better position because we would have given the schools more money and they really collected the same amount from parents. In fact, many schools actually would have collected more from parents than they would have collected in the past.
The Education Ministry says $1.3 billion has been released to fund the secondary school operations for the rest of the 2016-2017 academic year. The government, he says, is committed to releasing the money for the next academic year.
Schools can now look forward to their first payment for the new academic year. Will again be in June. And they will get another payment, which is the second for the new financial year, new academic year, in September. The third tranche is still scheduled for December, but we'll always try to give them a Christmas and give them earlier, and then April again.
Meanwhile, during the course of this week, $259 million will be provided to infant, primary, all-age and junior high schools. A further $1.8 billion has been allocated to the school feeding program under the Program of Advancement through Health and Education PATH. Vashon Brown, TVJ News.